Ween is probably the best band I've heard, which is a big thing coming from me because I don't like many bands. If you don't know, which would be a massive problem, Ween is a rock band started by Aaron Freeman and Mickey Melchiondo in 1984. And just calling them a rock band would honestly be an insult. They tackled just about every genre, from prog to funk to gospel to even an entire country album in 1996, which turns 30 this year. But in this video, I'll be ranking all 10 Ween studio albums, starting from worst to best. I'll be giving a few fun facts about the album, talking about some of the good songs, some of the bad songs, heavy quotations there. Not all songs are bad, but I mean, maybe some of them. So let's get into it with the supposed worst Ween album.
Disclaimer.
No one is surprised that La Cucaracha is this low on the list. Multiple critics have said that this is Ween's worst album, and I can kinda see why. Besides Learning to Love and Shame Maker, Ween never really got as brown like they used to. But that doesn't mean some songs aren't good. The first song off the album I ever heard was Blue Balloon, and it's still one of, if not, my favorite. Fiesta is really upbeat, it would probably be my go-to party song. I wonder why. And Friends is a generational banger. Every coin has two sides. Spirit Walker is infamous for being horrible. I can kinda guess why Ween used autotune. Autotune was becoming a central thing in music after T-Pain adopted it as part of his style. So maybe Ween was testing it out for us in the future, but it ended up being one of the worst on the album. Lullaby is literally just a lullaby. It's short, it's simple, and it's forgettable. Woman to Man is the best out of the three that I've mentioned by far. The only problem is that this song is longer than my legs. And my legs are pretty long. The reason that 12 Gone Country Greats has the name is not because of the number of songs. The album actually only has 10. Partly the reason that it's so low on this list. The name is supposed to reference the 12 people who played on it, such as Bobby Ogden, Charlie McCoy, and Russ Hicks. Most of the songs on here are pretty good. A gibberish spread out through Mr. Richard Smoker is pretty catchy. Pretty Girl is fast-paced and energetic, and Help Me Scrape the Mucus Off My Brain is really mellow. The only problem I have with it is fluffy. It's just that there isn't a rhyme scheme. It just messes with the rhythm of the entire song. It's relatively empty for a 3-minute song. I've seen people say that this is their least favorite Ween album, but it's not because of fluffy, it's that Ween went through aggressive, weird, and deranged alt-rock to country. Even though fluffy was kinda boring, I still think that they pulled off the genre shift. Shinola Volume 1 is a compilation album of unused songs dating back to the Pod album in 1991. No matter how much I looked, and the videos I watched, and the Wikipedia page I read, I can't find any more info on this album. Since Ween made a bunch of songs, they decided to handpick 12, re-record some elements on certain ones, and release it as Shinola Volume 1. Transitions is a chill jam that still slaps without anything loud. How High Can You Fly has a great opening guitar riff and weird vocals that add more than you really think. I honestly think that the album's great, but since 1/5 of it is kinda iffy, it takes spot number 8. The Rift is the second longest track on the album, and boy does it drag on. The song is so repetitive it makes me want to cut off my ears and eat them. And the only reason I don't like Someday is because I ruined it for myself. Overplaying is the #1 cause of song dislikes, according to my research. Which sucks, because I remember liking it. Oh well. White Pepper is probably Ween's most accessible album. It's mainly acoustic pop and soft rock, so it's a really easy listen. It gets its name from combining the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper and the White Album, which it apparently sounds like. I haven't heard any Beatles songs, but if Ween compared to the Beatles, it has to be good. Exactly Where I'm At is probably in my top 10 of Ween songs ever. Bananas and Blow is the grooviest piece of Caribbean music I've ever heard, and if Ice Castles isn't in the new Backrooms movie, I'm committing the largest act of tax fraud this country has ever seen. Yet again, I ruined some songs by overplaying them. Falling Out and Even If You Don't used to be good songs to me, but I killed it. And for some reason, when I was writing down these songs for the video, for She's Your Baby, I wrote, I don't know. Maybe because it's so somber and quiet. It's just a guess. For some reason, I guess we'll never know. I don't like She's Your Baby. At least everything else is good. Quebec is widely considered one of, if not Ween's best albums, and I can definitely see why. Most of the songs on here are somber, calm down, way different than what Ween used to do back in the 90s. Which partly may be why it's so low on this list. Let's get straight into the cons. Alkin Road is barely audible, and the jam is just repetitive. It's the same garbled mess with a drum track. It sounds like a Beastie Boys track with no lyrics. But that doesn't mean that the album isn't incredibly moving. I love the opening guitar and solo on I Don't Want It. So Many People in the Neighborhood is the brownest Ween has been in years. Chocolate Town is great to listen to on a rainy day, and Tried and True was so good, it was the soundtrack for my 2025 Destin trip. Remember? The one I didn't make a video on? It's a great album, just not my cup of drink. Chocolate and Cheese, besides making me look like a perv for buying it, is an amazing album. It's the first time Ween tried to mellow out but stay true to their brown roots. Some of the best on here are Freedom of 76, A Tear for Eddie, Chelpa Road, and what Dina was talking about. The reason Chocolate and Cheese is so low on this list is yet again overplaying. Voodoo Lady and Roses Are Free are songs that I really used to enjoy, but of course I had to mess it up. Still good songs no matter what I say. It's a good album, just not as brown as I would prefer. God of Ween Saint and the Oneness is Ween's 1990 debut, which now officially makes 1990 a cool year. It is by far Ween's biggest album, standing at a whopping 26 tracks. 29 if you count the anniversary version, which I will be doing. It's got a certified hood classic Bumblebee, Fat Lenny, Hippie Smell, Birthday Boy, and Marble Tulip Juicy Tree. All great songs in their own right. Then there are other songs. Bumblebee Part 2 is my worst enemy in music. If you've heard Bumblebee Part 1, you know that Part 2 is a massive step down to the high bar Part 1 set. Nicole is way too long for what it is. It's nearly 10 minutes, and it's the same instrumental the entire time. Licking the Palm for Guava's lyrics try to cram the title in, but it's too big of a phrase and it messes up the rhythm. And you can barely hear anything on Puffy Cloud. Since it's a huge album, a few songs can afford to be ridiculed, which keeps it in spot 4. Mollusk is usually the first album you mention when we talk about Ween. It's the album that inspired SpongeBob. It's the album all about the sea. It's the album with Ocean Man. You can't forget Ocean Man. The title track is amazingly beautiful. I'll Be Your Johnny on the Spot is a great headbanger. Pink Eye on My Leg is a funky instrumental track. And Ocean Man is the most popular Ween song ever. The only thing I don't like about the album is the reprise of Dancing in the Show Tonight at the end of She Wanted to Leave. First, it takes a lot of windy silence to even hear it, and second, it's just a repeat of the first track but way slower and sad. Besides that, it would be a full masterpiece for me. The Pod is Ween's second album and one of the hardest to sit through for new listeners. It's so brown, Ween called one of the Pod's special vinyls the Fuscus Edition. Get it? Because Fuscus means brown. Diving into the few cons, Boing is way too deep to enjoy. It's just bass and very low vocals. And G Me has both vocal parts at the same time, which makes the song just sound like a bunch of noise. On the other hand, Right to the Ways and the Rules of the World is an amazing ballad. Don't Sweat It had a rad drum intro with cool distorted guitar, and vocals on Laura are great. Another great thing is that this is Ween's second longest album, so there's a lot of great material to listen to. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, my #1 Ween album of all time is... Now, I know what you're thinking. Jake! Bestie! Why'd you pick Pure Guava? It sucks cheeks! So then I say, shut up, you're wrong. Pure Guava is what I would call the poppy version of Brown. It's not muddy and sad like the pod, but it's not mentally insane like Godwin Satan. It only has one problem. Loving you through it all. Like Sheep, me, it's 2 overlapping vocal tracks that ruin the rhythm and the melody of the song. The Stallion Part 3 is ethereal in a way that makes me just want to cry. Sarah is a nice melodic love song. I Saw Gina Crying in His Sleep is a goofy little tune. And Don't Get Too Close to My Fantasy is just earth-shattering. And that's only a taste of what the album actually is. So, at the time I'm making this, Ween has released 2 songs from their 12 Golden Country Greats Deluxe album. 12 Golden Country Greats is turning 30 this year. Yippee! So as of now, there's 2 unreleased songs out, Boston Chicken and Bad Day in Brownsville, and they're both bangers. I love how brown and rapid Bad Day in Brownsville is. Boston Chicken is goofy, kind of sounds more like Up a Rope, which is why they probably left it off the album. And that's why they both get a 9 out of 10 from me. So that was it. Every Ween album ranked. I've been waiting probably over a year to talk about my love for Ween, or at least something about it. Hearing Ocean Man for the first time was the best thing to ever happen to me. I'm now at the point where I can say that if I hadn't heard Ween on my 13th birthday last year, I would not be the cool guy you hear before you. It's Ween, bruv. Get with it!